Polytechnic University has always been the backbone of the region. 100 years with Samara for Russia. The fate of the university was determined by Nicholas II in 1914. He signed a decree to establish a Polytechnic Institute in Samara. The Tsar's resolution, so be it, made it possible to start the construction of the institute. Chemical, power and mechanical engineering faculties were the first faculties of the new institute. The university followed its polytechnic trend for more than a century. This trend is clearly identified today. A Latin word poly means a lot. Chemistry and petroleum chemistry, power engineering, defense industry, engineering, economics, construction. The university responds to the most complex demands of the industrial sector of the Volga region and even of the whole country. The brand of Samara Polytech is a sign of quality. Today, Samara State Technical University has the status of a flagship university. This means that the university is becoming a major center of innovation, a driver of the region's economic development. Like a magnet, Polytech has always attracted famous scientists and founders of scientific schools. Legendary scientists and engineers worked here during the evacuation. One of them was Viktor Kozlov, who founded the Engineering and Technology Faculty and later became a rector of the Polytechnic Institute. Today's students continue research of the most famous founders of scientific schools in Polytech: Kulikovsky, Kuzmin, Nyakshin. Samara Polytech is known for its scientific schools in catalytics, organic chemistry, industrial ecology, complex systems management, multidimensional data analysis, foundry technologies, metal processing, defense technologies, and pedagogics. Their founders are well known in Russia and abroad. Leading Russian scientists, as well as their distinguished colleagues from European and American universities, read lectures and provide workshops in the university. Many young people pursue science today as they find it both trendy and challenging. Intellectual capital of the Samara Polytech quickly becomes competitive in the market. Thus, underwater surface gliders, boats working on helio-solar batteries, catalysts for oil refining, high-purity chemical compounds for pharmaceuticals are widely recognized on the market today. At the Technical University, there is a high level of contracts and commercialization of developments belonging to the real sector of the economy. Of course, we participate in federal programs and win contests and grants, but we are proud of what we do in the industry. We did it yesterday, we do it today, and we will do it even more tomorrow. Innovation is everywhere. The most talented and promising students are engaged in the work of interdisciplinary project teams, even during the educational process. Together with their mentors, design teams of students and young scientists work on the creation of intelligent systems for monitoring and controlling complex devices, are engaged in research of genetic engineering in aluminium alloys, and develop a prototype of helilithographic laboratory. Thus, scientists of the Polytech fulfill vital demanding tasks. After all, a modern engineer must be a universal specialist. An agriculturist should be able to manipulate a drone aircraft, a rescuer should be able to control a robot unit, and a cook should know chemistry and physics in order to create, for example, molecular cuisine. Polytech is a factory of ideas and promising startups. The Technical University has always been a center of attraction for talented youth. Science students and art students have always lived in harmony here. The academic atmosphere of the university was unique. It gave birth to the Samara Jazz Band of Lev Bikasov and to the first theatre of Students' Review Theatre. It was in Samara Polytech where Vladimir Vysotsky appeared on stage. There is an excellent swimming pool, a sports complex with an interactive shooting range, and more than 40 sports sections and creative studios in the Polytech today. Student dormitories here are comparable to European campuses. Soon the university will get its own Congress Hall and an interactive museum of science. No university in the Samara region can compete with the Polytech in the number of social programs and projects. The university is especially proud of its honored women's basketball team. Polytech, SSTU, Energia, SSTU, is a promising men's team. Volzhany, SSTU team, plays in the Premier League of the Comedy Club on Channel 1. Petroleum Engineering faculty is one of the largest faculties in the Polytech. The scientists working in different departments of the faculty are engaged in drilling of oil and gas wells, designing equipment for oil and gas and chemical industries, in geology, oil and gas field operations, pipeline transport, industrial ecology. Rosneft, Lukoil, Transneft, Gazprom, and other large companies are strategic partners of the university. All of them apply technological developments of Samara Polytech. I graduated from the Petroleum Engineering faculty, the Department of Pipeline Transport. Now I work in midstream operations. The level of training I got in the Samara State Technical University is sufficient and allowed me to plunge right into production. For example, one of the promising inventions is an intellectual deposit. It will allow one to carry out unmanned work and increase the oil recovery factor. 200 scientists of the Polytech work on this task, including 30 doctors of science. And one of these days, robots will perform all the dirty and hard work, and oil engineers will control them from a remote office. The sphere of ecology is expanding. To preserve the ecology of the region is considered to be a special mission of the Polytech. The university has won the regional contest Eco Leader many times, and there is good reason for that. There is a scientific and analytical centre for industrial ecology working on the basis of the university. Now, environmental concerns are a matter of great importance, and ecological issues are highly relevant and popular among the youth. The only thing we need is to teach adults to care about them. The pride of the university is a scientific school for waste recycling. The head of it is Dmitry Brikov, the rector. Environmental engineers working there have created an entire industry of saving natural resources and proved that industrial waste can also be recycled. This is very important because, on the one hand, we do not pollute the environment. On the other hand, we use a lot of resources which carry material and energy flows. Thanks to patents, inventions made by our scientific school help process over 1 million tons of industrial waste only in the Samara region. The Department of Organic Chemistry provides synthesis of previously unknown active substances. The department registered an invention of a new method for obtaining chemical heterocyclic compounds, which is of high demand in the pharmaceuticals industry. The substances obtained by the scientists have an active effect on the herpes virus, the influenza A virus, and malignant tumors. Young chemists received a grant from the President of Russia for these developments. The Department of Chemical Technology of Oil and Gas Processing for more than 30 years has been working on the development of catalysts for hydrotreatment of hydrocarbon raw material. Samara chemists invented a unique technology for the preparation of catalysts. Their composition and method of synthesis are proprietary products of the department. The scientists of the department won a mega grant of the government of 90 million rubles for the implementation of the project on thermodynamics and catalytics. Graduates of the Chemical Engineering faculty continue their scientific work at their workplaces. Their inventions move forward the production industry, the economy, and prestige of our region and the whole country depend on their current work. Paint coatings, galvanic chemical coatings, non-metallic materials like glue, sealants, resins, heat-insulating coatings, heat protection. This is all within the competence of a chief chemist. Not a single product of rocket space technology, be it a space vehicle or a rocket carrier, can do without our participation. Together with the graduates of the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, the plants of the Samara region and other regions receive innovations and fresh, modern ideas. When we were students, we designed a foundry bay on paper. Within 4 years, it was constructed, a hydro-automatica plant. It was a large foundry bay able to produce 300 tons of non-ferrous foundry per year. Everything that was calculated by us, being students, all this was realized. It was exciting to see it and participate in the process, because I launched this production line myself. There are also new techniques for reverse engineering which were developed at the faculty. Thus, with the help of a 3D printer, scientists help restore cultural heritage sites. An exclusive line of souvenirs is also under development. The faculty also creates unique technologies for testing metals and invents new types of cast alloy products. You feel like an artist because you have a detail. You need to get a part blank for it, and soon you're creating like an artist, blending metals, thinking how to do the best of it. There is no wrong answer here. Each technologist is guided only by his or her imagination, his or her knowledge, and receives a unique detail. At the Department of Foundry Technology, metal diseases are treated without changing their chemical composition. Samara scientists have learned to manage the properties of metals, the inheritance of holy alloys, technology of genetic engineering. These are the topics of our international conferences. 8 conferences were held with the involvement of specialists from other countries. We publish scientific proceedings. We organize defenses of candidate dissertations. Our scientific trend is a priority in the world. The Faculty of Automation and Information Technologies is known far beyond the Samara region. It trains specialists in the field of information systems and technologies. There is a powerful scientific school for the management of complex systems here, headed by a world-renowned professor, Edgar Rappaport. A scientific discipline having unlimited prospects for development, completely without any alternatives significant for technology, labor-intensive, time-consuming, and besides, you cannot do here without in-depth knowledge of mathematics and physics. That is what I have been doing all my life. At the faculty, students are engaged in creating a line of underwater autonomous vehicles, a universal tool for studying the depths of the sea. Scientists and students together try to solve the task of integrated pipage monitoring. There is also a project for precision agriculture based on unmanned aerial vehicles that monitor crops. And there are lots of such ambitious and worthwhile projects. This is a glove joystick, a universal device for controlling any electronic device. TV, phone, your personal home robot, anything you like. I cannot say, guys, if you come to us, we'll not only give you knowledge and some competencies, we'll shape a kind of professional destiny for you, a professional path of further motion. Thermal power engineers compare themselves with astronauts. They must be able to make a split-second decision, as sometimes the life of entire cities depends on it. The rotor of the turbine rotates at a speed of 3,000 revolutions per minute, with the steam temperature being more than 500 degrees Celsius. The level of responsibility of thermal power engineers is also measured by outside figures. Therefore, more than half of the staff of heat-generating companies are people with higher technical education. Samara State Technical University is the main supplier of personnel for power engineering, including Novokubishevsk thermal power plant. That is, they are here at this station, young staff. They have to come to replace those already retired. Most of them are Polytech graduates, with a decent level of training. They are those people who really love electric power industry and want to work there. Scientists of the Samara Polytech, together with their students, are engaged in the development of a new generation of batteries based on thermochemical reactions. Our thermochemical accumulator allows us to accumulate thermal energy for a long time, for hours, for days, and maybe even for millennia. In the future, it would be very good to bring the installation to the point where everyone could use this thermochemical battery. In the internal combustion engine of the car, in the communal household, in the housing and utility sector. We'll go on working on it. Increasing the country's energy capacity by creating new types of energy. Building efficient solar power stations in the regions where there is little sun. Turning the blades of wind power stations. All that is done at the Electrical Engineering Faculty. World electric power industry is developing towards renewable energy sources. This is the transition from gasoline cars to electric vehicles, and in terms of electric power industry in general, to eco-friendly solar and wind stations. The wind generator designed by the scientists of the Samara Polytech is able to work under the conditions of light winds. It is based on an electric motor without bearing parts. where the friction is reduced to zero and its efficiency is increased many times. The most delicious faculty of the Polytech is the Faculty of Food Production Technologies. Beer, which is brewed at the Polytech, is famous for its excellent taste among connoisseurs of this drink. Students of the faculty carry out experiments on different beer brands. Later, these brands become the basis for new technological maps of operating breweries. Sparkling wine, calvados, ciders, juices and bread, ice creams and sweets. New tastes are created by students of the Faculty of Food Production Technologies. And here, science also allows us to solve the most unusual problems, preparing an edible package instead of traditional cellophane or sublimating products for use in molecular kitchens, in space, and in the Arctic are among them. The Samara Polytech is the father of domestic blue cheese. Here, professors and their students invented a unique technology for blue cheese production. This technology differs from the European one. At the same time, it allows producing the product of the highest quality. Today, a dozen grades of soft and hard cheeses are produced here. We only inoculate, add some biocatalyst, then mix it, and get a ready cheese head. Its taste depends entirely on the way we take care of it, how many times we turn it and wash it. The taste of cheese depends on this process greatly. Architecture, construction and design, engineering, creativity, creative approach. These are special training programs in the curriculum of the Joint Technical University. These programs are from the university with a reliable reputation and a glorious history. Each year, spectators and judges are amazed with their costumes created by young designers for the Volga Region contest, organized by Alexander Vasilyev. Young architects are developers of complex solutions for a comfortable urban environment. Scientists and graduates of the Faculty of Engineering Systems and Environmental Engineering, the Faculty of Industrial and Civil Engineering, and the Faculty of Construction and Technology form the elite of modern architecture. Polytech builders created a system of no traffic lights for traffic on the most congested intersections of cities. Today, the combined scientific forces of Polytech are working to realize the ambitious idea of building on the moon with a 3D printer. More than 200,000 engineers have come out of the doors of our university. On the day of the centenary of the Polytech, the first Russian monument to a Russian engineer was opened at the main building on Molodogvarderskaya. Graduates of the Technical University once built the Volga hydroelectric power plant, Bezymyanskaya, and Samara power station, developed the first oil fields. The largest chemical enterprises of the region, Syntez Caoutchouc, Kubyshev Phosphorus, Tolyatti Azot, eagerly awaited Polytech graduates. The most important thing for us is that a graduate should come out as a leader, a manager, and should believe in our government, the president, the factory where he works. And all this is a kind of respect for our university. It is most important. And when a young person begins to fulfill these commandments, they always grow professionally and become an excellent, effective production leader. Our graduates were always in great demand and highly appreciated. They occupied senior management positions and other positions of importance. Perhaps the most famous of them are Rem Vyakhirev and a former Russian Prime Minister, Viktor Chernomyrdin, who are known as the founders of Gazprom. The Samara Polytech Institute, which I graduated from, or a technical university, has become a flagship university in my life and in the life of hundreds of its graduates. The university is a pillar of support for different branches of the economy of our country. And of course, it is the flagship university in this region. Polytech is the largest international platform for business communication. In 2016, the second Russian-Swiss Innovation Forum, with the participation of the Ambassador of Switzerland, governors of cantons, leading figures of innovative industrial enterprises of Switzerland and Russia, was successfully held here. A number of significant agreements and cooperation were signed during the forum. In 2017, the flagship university hosts one of the world's largest architectural forums, Silk Road. as well as a number of landmark international conferences on chemistry, information systems, and energy. The Samara Polytech dynamic life brings thousands and thousands of people together. It weaves them together with scientific thoughts. It glues them together with interesting tasks. It unites them with creativity and cements with a strong friendship. Polytech is a huge family. We are Polytech.